Hi, welcome back. It is another day of streaming, and today we have something very special as I'm gonna be doing, I guess, my yearly wrap up. So, yeah, last year you guys saw a video like this, best to worst books in 2023. So now we're doing that, but in a streams format. Hi, Con. Hi, Heiji. Hi, Gamwa. Welcome. We're gonna be discussing basically all of the books that I've read. I'm really interested to even check out how many books I've read because I don't know. And I have a feeling that it's more than last year. Last year, I believe I read 33 books or 34, something like that. Oh, I have a feeling that I've read way more, and I'm kind of curious to see how many books I've read. Really excited. It was a really good reading year for me, so I hope that if you are interested in reading or maybe have been considering picking up some books, maybe I could give you some fun recommendations.
This is me. That's the song.
Oh,
Katodeling love.
thank you so much, Heiji, for the resub. I appreciate it. Sending you a heart right now in the chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. A little Christmas present for me. A resub. I'm happy to hear that. I hope that you guys are doing pretty well. I thought I'm gonna finish a video today, but I finished filming at 2:15. For reference, it's 4 now, so I finished filming it. I edited just like the tiniest little bit, like the first 2 minutes of the video, and I was gonna finish it before today, as in today's stream, because after that I can't work, because tomorrow we're streaming in the morning, then in the afternoon right after the stream I'm going to visit my grandma, and then after I visit my grandma we have the Christmas Eve dinner, and then there's Christmas, and I'm not gonna work during Christmas, so I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna work. I don't know how the job is gonna get done, but it's totally okay. Do you guys want to see how far we are in the bingo? Because I don't think we're gonna get further than what we are right now. I'm still pretty satisfied with it. This is what we're working with. Look at that. We haven't had any Sims fire. I'm surprised by that. Fortunately, no TT jump scares for me. Didn't really get bot attacks. Honestly, we only got like one bot maybe spamming the chat once, but it wasn't like a full-on attack, and I'm very surprised. Like, I think Twitch has been doing something to alter their moderations, because I haven't had any issues with bot attacks. We're gonna finish the advent calendar tomorrow, so I guess this is going to be crossed off. Yunka did not come in a single time. We didn't have any game crashes. We will open gifts tomorrow. Meg doesn't want to show up. It's fine. It's fine. But I'm still happy. I'm still happy with how much we achieved. And would you like me to open the advent calendar for today? I assume that since yesterday we got the chocolate, or was it 2 days ago? We got the chocolate. We're not gonna get it anymore. Who got the 100% criminal? Was it Lily? It might have been Lily, because I remember I literally was just talking about it. Oh, it's so weird that we didn't get 100% criminal, and then someone, I think it was Lily, did the exclamation mark criminal, and right after I said it, the 100% criminal shows up in the chat. I'm like, huh? How is that possible? And speaking of which, I should do that. Criminal. 38. Oh, see, Heiji, we're almost winning. Actually, did I update my question of the day command? 40%, that's very similar as well. Oh, I did update it. I wanted to ask you guys, what was your dream job when you were a kid? Now, I have a very specific answer for that. My answer is that when I was younger, I was very heavily inspired by Selena Gomez. She was my icon, okay? I loved her. I watched every single thing that she was in, listened to her music, and I basically wanted to do like her. So I wanted to act and sing at the same time. Like I wanted to produce music and act at the same time. And clearly none of that worked out. Clearly. But you know what? I still am saying this, that if I ever got an opportunity to either act in something or make music, I would be like, yes. Yeah, I would love to. You wanted to be a streamer? When I was a kid, streaming was not even a thing, so that's interesting for me. So how does that match your reality? I'm too shy and boring. To be honest with you, Heiji, with the boring thing, I'm also very boring in real life. The thing is that I think entertaining people and being able to like talk, make jokes, this is a skill. So do not think that you're boring. I'm sure that you, if you just like practice, you would be just like the funniest person ever, truly. And also a lot of people like a bit more chill streamers, right? They like putting streams in the background, and calm streamers work a bit better for that than, you know, someone who's like very loud. Okay, day 23. Oh, it almost is empty. This is crazy. 23 over here, I see it. Very small. Where's the opening? At the bottom. Okay, here's 23, as you can see. Oh. Oh, why did I rip it again? No. No. I'm making it worse. I'm making it worse. Okay, we have another hair mask. Okay. Ooh, I have a feeling this one's gonna smell different. Let's see what it says. Oh, this is emergency hair mask. That's literally what it says. It's an emergency hair mask, and it's supposed to smell like salted caramel. Look at that. That is what it looks like. Let's see if it does smell like salted caramel. I thought it's gonna smell like gingerbread because, as you can see here, it has like gingerbread decorations, and I was really hoping this is gonna smell like that, but no, it is salted caramel. I wouldn't say it smells like salted caramel, or maybe a little bit, but it's not as intense of a scent as I thought it's going to be, which is good actually, because this is my complaint about these products right now, is that they are way too intense, and the scent, like, I mean, if you like hair products that last the whole day on your hair, then you're gonna love it. But I personally really dislike that, especially if you're using perfume on top of that, then there's like all of the smells mix and it's not fun. I bet it's yummy. No, you can't eat that. I'm pretty sure it even says on the packaging, do not eat. Yes, this is a cosmetic product. Do not eat. Do not eat. Okay, but I'm gonna be using it for sure. And you know what? Did you guys want to do Wordle? I'm kind of craving it. I haven't done Wordle in a while. Where is my Wordle? And then after that, after we do Wordle, we'll start with the books, because there's going to be a lot, honestly. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to get through all of them. I hope so. I hope I will. Con, what about you? Like, you didn't answer. What was your dream job as a kid? Actually, can the word dream be here? Yes, it can be. You want a daily cat picture? After I started my... oh my god, what is it called? My world. Okay, fine. We have 2 pictures again. Guys, I am spoiling you with the cat pictures. You should be happy. But also, I just realized... Is that not a repeat, this picture? I feel like I've shown you this picture already. But we have 2 pictures, okay? We have two. So just in case, if you have seen this picture, because I have a feeling I've shown you, because I was just laughing how she always sleeps like, you know, like this. Like she's diving onto the floor. Long noodle, right? Hi, Emblem, by the way. Oh, Emblem, we have a question of the day. Would you like to answer? Question. Over here. what was your dream job when you were a kid. So this is the second picture that I have for you. It's a little blurry, but I wanted to show you. So basically Mika was sleeping on the chair and then Mocha decided to just lay across from her. And Mika, you know, looks so half asleep at her like, what are you doing? Was there really no other space? Do we have to sit like this? And Mocha's just like, yes, we do. Apologize, I'm eating. Oh, no problem, no problem. Then after you finish eating. So yeah, that's the bonus picture I wanted to show you. And now I can go back to my world. What were we doing? We wrote one word, dream. That didn't give me anything, honestly. Is that a word, phony? Oh. Oh, okay, we have letter N. A cat just ignored my pss. No, how could your cat do that? Me and Matthew, we both thought about it, and our answers was work in a ice cream shop to get free ice cream. You're onto something, but also I don't know if I would be able to control myself if I always had free ice cream, you know? Oh, what would be this word? Can I do just like click? None of that. What the heck? Stabbed? I don't think that's a word. What if I do like state just to see? Oh, okay. S. It could be say. Something. Oh, I wanted to be a veterinarian for the longest time, but then I realized, wait, did a bombastic aside I play? Because I didn't hear it. But then I realized I'd just cry if I ever had to operate on an animal or anything bad happened to them. How about you? I was just saying that when I was younger, my biggest inspiration for life was Selena Gomez, so I basically wanted to be Selena Gomez. I wanted to act and sing at the same time. Like I wanted to produce music and have like my own, I don't know, show or movie or something. It didn't play. Why not? That's weird. That's suspicious. I wonder if it's just like this scene that doesn't work. Hold on. What if I change it to this scene and I'm gonna play like any sound of this one, for example? Oh, hold on. The issue might be that I am not logged in, perhaps. Hold on. Let's see. If I go to sound alerts, I'll log in and see. See if that fixes it. Oh, authorize. This might be the issue. Okay, I am logged in. New Vanessa Hudgens, yeah. Okay, let's see this now.
She's really good.
Okay, I hope that you heard that. If you did, then we have everything fixed. Because it basically locked me out of all of my accounts at some point and I did not fix that. Let's go back here. What is this word? Sabanu. Or Sufna. Susna. We did? Okay, great. I'm happy to hear that. Sue. I don't know what that word is. Sasna? Sasnu? I'm very confused. Cause 2-letter, like with S is just H, right? Or SCH. Like school. Yeah, what is that word? I don't know. Hyena's competitor? It might be. Oh my god, I don't know. I'm very confused right now. What? I don't know. What? I don't think that's a word. Suvna? I have no idea. It can't be like this. Swans. That did not do anything for me. That did not do anything. You have one in mind? Okay, but shoot. We'll see if I win this or lose this. I feel like I'm gonna lose this because I just goofed. So it has to be like here, the letter A. Or at the end, so like S. Na? Sufna? Sufna? Subna. Swan. Da da da. Like swan. Was that a reference to this song? I don't know. I do not know what the heck is this word. Sus. Sas. Saban. No. Sagan. I don't know. Swan? Yes. Okay. No, Okay, Mika is meowing at the door. Of course she is. And then she's gonna leave in like a couple of minutes. I know her. She's like that always. So hello, everyone. Say hi to Mika. Oh. Hello, Mika. Hello. Hello. Mine is wrong? Okay. So, we all collectively just don't know what to do then. I don't know. I'm about to give up. Hi, Mika. Hello. I don't know. Should I give up? I don't know. Sas. No, Mika, do not do that. There is no word that starts like this, so... if it wasn't like that... Na? Or... It can't be like a word that ends with ND? NG maybe? Sa... something NG. Sa... Sagng? I don't think that's a word. Sabng? No, I don't know. I don't think that's working. Okay, you know, I'm gonna say bye-bye to this so that we can move on to spreadsheet, honestly. So... what could be our word to say goodbye to? Hello? We can do hello. Let's do goodbye to this. I want to know what the word... Sauna! Okay, I knew that it ends with like N-A. Yeah, okay. But Sana was actually an easy word that I did not get. But hi, cute. How are you? We're gonna start off my book summary for this year. Is it here? Yeah, I have. Hi, Kai. How are you? How's the day going? Great. My cat Mika is here. She loves biting my headphones. It's her favorite thing. It can't be Slay. No, it can't be. Doing great. I'm happy to hear that. Do you celebrate holidays? And if yes, what have you done so far? Cat, right? You want to see her up close? I can show you. So here is my baby Mika. Here she is. She's very small, as you can see. Very cuddly as well. You love Christmas? Aw. Are you spending it with your family? We also have like lots of preparations. Skill issue? Okay, then skill issue, you answer me. What is your dream job? It's a little kitty, right? Yeah. I do these holidays. We're mix beginning December terrible, then turn out amazing. Oh, I'm glad that it turned out amazing in the end. That's the most important. Yui! Yui! Oh my god. You are going to jail for this. Jail. Jail for Yui. Absolutely. 98% criminal. How about you? We are going to have tomorrow kind of busy because in the morning I'm streaming. Then we're visiting my grandma. And unfortunately, my grandma is in the hospital. So we're gonna have like a little like Christmas Eve lunch, I guess, at the hospital with her. And then afterwards, we're making our family like official dinner. Because we celebrate Christmas Eve a bit more than we celebrate the actual Christmas Day. The Christmas Day is always more chill for us. Yep, I just came home from buying gifts and snacks for my Christmas dinner. Oh, that's awesome. People can't even be criminal. Of course, you can't be criminal because you will end up in jail. I wanted to be an assassin when I was 4. Don't think about it. Okay. But I really like the idea of being a game designer when I got my normal. But you know what? You're living your childhood dream then. You are a game designer though, right? So I'm glad that everything worked out. Sending love to your family. Thank you so much. And I'm sending all of the love to you guys as well. Even if this December has not been the best, I hope that it can turn out better, at least at the very end of the month. What a dream, right? What a dream. Okay, so this is the spreadsheet that I've made. It's very simple. We're gonna start off with all the books that I've read. We're not gonna go in any specific order. I'm not gonna sort them out, I don't think. Like, we're just gonna go through probably each bookstore that I've ordered books from, because I have, you know, the receipts that I can look online, which books that I've read. We have title, author, genre. Most of them are going to be fantasy, I'm already warning you. Status. By status, I mean, did I finish this book or did I DNF it at some point? What is my rating? We're gonna do the Goodreads rating. So from 1 to 5 stars, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. And then just like a short review on what I think about the book without any spoilers, of course. I've been seeing your videos on YouTube. Oh, excited to hear your opinions because I'm also an avid reader. Oh, I'm really happy that you made it here then. And I hope that we can share some fun book recommendations together. My childhood dream when I discovered working in an ice cream shop would make me fired with becoming a stylish to draw clothes? What? Hold on, I didn't understand. Is that you wanted to be stylish in the ice cream shop? Is that what it is? Because I don't understand what you mean. What do you mean? Okay, I think we're gonna actually start off with rereads that I've done this year because I have quite a few. And it's going to be the easiest once I get those done. So you wanted to be a stylist to draw clothes. Okay, but how would that make you fired from your ice cream shop? This is what I don't understand. No, but what? Be right back. Okay, so we're gonna start off actually with the first reread that I did this year, which is The Hunger Games. This is like one of my favorite books of all time. And I have like the whole trilogy here, so might as well write it down. Oh, I'm sorry. I need water. Catching Fire, also Mockingjay, and also Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And all of that by Miss Susanna Collins. Okay. Genre, dystopian. How many of you know even what Hunger Games are? And if you don't know, why not? Why not? Why not? Why don't you know what that is? And I gave up on the ice cream shop. Ah, okay. Because I was like, you would get fired from an ice cream shop if they found out that you want to become a stylist. That's what I understood. I'm like, why? Okay, so status finished for all of the... I actually know this is a reread. Never mind. Reread. Oh, should I reread like this? Maybe that's how you write it. And fun fact, I actually reread these three, so the original trilogy, but the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was actually the first time reading it. Or finish 100%, or should I write it like finish? Maybe 100%. And I haven't read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes for the longest time because when it first came out, I believe back in 2019, I've heard a lot of opinions of people saying that, oh, what's the point of this book? It's so boring, it's so bad. And because of this, I didn't want to ruin myself the experience. I didn't want to ruin what Hunger Games is to me because it's a very important book for me. And I just didn't read it for so long. And finally, after the movie came out last year, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna read this book and just see what it's all about. Yo, I've been lied to. This book is amazing. I kid you not, this is my favorite book in the entire Hunger Games series. And I need to emphasize why, because I feel like a lot of people go into this book expecting that this is a villain origin story. And I realized that this is the way that this book is promoted. But it is not. If you expect a villain origin story, you're not gonna get it. You're gonna be very disappointed. And I'm gonna read the chat in a second, don't worry. And I would say that this book is actually more like a really, really long essay, like 500 long pages essay about the influence of philosophy on politics. And now, if you know me, I love me some fictional politics. I love especially fantasy politics. I also love philosophy. So the entire book was just such a blast for me. I've learned so much from different perspectives, and I just loved it, okay? It was a 5 for me. And I'm gonna rate these 5 stars as well, because yeah. So review, best book from Hunger Games universe, I guess. I also like Hunger Games. I haven't read Shatter Me, but I actually want to read it. I have it on my TBR, but actually, no. I started reading it when I was in middle school, and then I DNF'd it. I don't really know why, but I just DNF'd it, and I kind of want to read it properly again at some point. When you rate on Goodreads, if you give a book 3.5, you will round up or round down. To be honest, I don't use Goodreads, but in this specific case, it depends on the book. I would say that, like, if Or actually, maybe not. No, because then when I'm thinking about the 4-star books, like, no, I think I would lower it. I would say that I would rate it as 3 stars, but I would write on the first top line that I rated it 3.5 stars. I think so. I think that's what I would do. I read like the first 3 books, and the 4th book I found really boring. It's still lying on my nightstand waiting to be opened. Yeah, because I think like it's not for everyone. I totally agree with that it's not for everyone. You really have to be interested in either philosophy or politics to really enjoy this book. And since I am very interested in both of those topics, I loved it. Also, wait, I just realized that my Stream Elements didn't give a notification because we are now taking a break, well, like an ad break. Hold on, I need to log in to give me a second, to my Stream Elements. Why did you do that? Why you not do that? Hi Amelia, how are you doing? Hold on, I need to see what is wrong with my Stream Elements, because the commands worked, right? Why didn't this thing work? Timers? No, that's not a timer. You're good. That's good to hear. I hope that the Christmas preparations, if you celebrate, are going well. Is it modules? Modules, it might be it. Okay, everything apparently is working, but for some reason, not for me. What about you? I'm doing also pretty good. Just a little busy, I'm not gonna lie. I have like so many things to do before Christmas, and like Christmas is basically right around the corner, and I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna do all of that. I don't have time for that. Didn't make it past the hallway. See? Is universe? Oh, what if I did it like that? Politics plus philosophy. Wait, is that how you write philosophy? No, philosophy. Oh, 4? No, 3. That's what I'm gonna write. Do you stream daily? Right now, I'm streaming daily, but only for streammas. And regularly, I stream on Thursdays and Fridays. On Thursdays, I stream The Sims, and on Fridays, Stardew Valley. But I'm trying to spice up my content and do some other things. So for example, right now we're doing this because I do like reading. But you're done with your preparations? That's good. That's good. So no more stress, hopefully, for you. So that will be one thing that I've reread. Another thing that I've reread was actually 6 of Crows by Lee Bardugo. Fun fact, I've actually have both 6 of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and I've had them for like 5 years, but I've only read the first book, and then I just didn't bother to read the second one for some reason. But I kept this book for so long because I was like, I feel like I'm gonna want to reread 6 of Crows, because when I first read it, yes, I am on YouTube. I have a YouTube command if you would like. When I first read 6 of Crows, I think it's because people hyped up this book to me so much that I had really high expectations going into it, and I was just kind of disappointed. So I literally rated it 3 stars. And this year I decided to reread it because I was like, you know what, I need to finally read The Crooked Kingdom. But in order to do that, I think I need to remind myself what 6 of Crows is about. And when I read 6 of Crows, suddenly I was like, oh, why is this so good? One of my all-time favorites, especially Crooked Kingdom. Really? I would say that I disliked, I didn't dislike it, but I would say that I liked it less than 6 of Crows. 6 of Crows was definitely the superior book for me. Oh, you visit both of my channels? Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Amelia. Why Christie book? Which Christie? What is a Christie? Like Christie, you mean the author that writes the mystery books? I don't read them. I don't read Agatha Christie. Hi Kimberly. Oh Kimmy, we found your YouTube channel. Just like FYI. Agatha Christie, okay. We found your YouTube channel. I don't know if that was a secret, Kimmy. But like, basically Mig sent us a link of your YouTube and we were like, okay. I mean, you go, Kim. Me, when I perceived, I read one book this year. Okay, so this is a actually this is an adult fantasy, even though it is promoted as a young adult. I refuse to believe. I know this is a adult fantasy. This is adult fantasy. You do not tell me that this is a young adult. You just don't do that to me. Okay, and this one I'd say was like 4. It was definitely not as good for me as 6 of Crows. What would be my review? I don't know. And your opinion on bamboos? What is a bamboon? I don't know. I don't really need that, Amelia, you know? No need to share that opinion. Again, I've slayed the way I act in the video. It's just a publicly stunt. Yeah. Okay, it's okay, don't worry about it. Like, it's a video that you made for funsies, and I hope that you had fun while doing it. Okay, what would be the review? 6 of Crows. I don't know, actually. I think they're talking about me. I don't think they are. I don't think they are. I think I'm the only one talking about you, Kim, right now. I don't know when I'm gonna read it, like a review. Review for this. Better. Second. Oh, I did read it the second time. Amelia, please stop. Thank you. Yeah, like, listen, I even said that you don't need to share that opinion, and coming here to tell me like, oh, you know, you can do it better, change everything. I'm like, listen, if you don't like it, that's cool. But I, for example, really like it. You don't need to like it. So yeah, just in case, guys, if someone asks you, hey, don't share your opinion right now because your opinion is not nice, then respect it. Thank you. All right, and Cookie Kingdom. Not what I would expect, I would say. Not what I expected. So, without spoiling, there is a thing that happens in Cookie Kingdom that I've seen so many people cry over because it was such an emotional thing for me. When that happened, I was just like, oh, like I was indifferent about it. I was just like, you know. It's not an opinion. They're trying to sell you logos. Yeah, I think so. Like, I've seen a lot of people coming in here and being like, oh, I can make your thumbnails. And I'm just like, did I ask? I'm sorry, that sounds so mean, but like, did I ask? I think honestly though, I like the Carabao trilogy more than Six of Crows. Really? I gotta say that I liked from Carabao. I didn't even finish the trilogy because I only liked the first book and the second book was boring me. But I am yet to read Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I think from what I've heard, I may enjoy it. Have you read it, Kai? The Once Upon a Broken Heart? No, that's a good counter to them. Well, thank you. Thank you for helping me out and backing me up here. Now, the other rereads, which is a lot of them, is that I read the entire Percy Jackson books, and also I'm in the process of rereading Heroes of Olympus. I am on the 4th book on that series, so we're gonna go through 8 books right now. So let's start. Oh my god. Rick Riordan? Riordan? Is that how you... Oh no, I need to see. Rick Riordan. Oh, I missed an R in his last name. Mr. Riordan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take a wild guess who's my favorite author. Oh no! Why did Stream Elements exclude it? Okay, only 30 seconds, so I assume it was just like something, like a light word that Stream Elements didn't like. I'm sorry, Kai, that you got bonked by it. Yeah, it probably was something silly. Because sometimes Stream Elements doesn't like certain words, and so it's gonna bonk people for using them, even though I don't have many words blacklisted. Only I have like, you know, slurs, but very harsh ones. Yeah, that by accident. I'm sorry. Okay, lighting or lightning thief. Recorded no, it's like thinning, like thinning. Thief. Then we have Sea of Monsters. Titan's Curse. Oh, I don't know what the English version of that title is. Labyrinth something. Labyrinth. Oh, you might have typed in too much too quick. That's why. That's true. Hold on. Labyrinth. No. Battle in Labyrinth, maybe? Oh, Battle of the Labyrinth. That's how you say it. Battle of the Labyrinth. Okay. And then Last Olympian. And then we have the Heroes of Olympus. So, Lost Hero. Wait, what was the second one? The third one is Mark of... Why is that... Wait, why is it different fonts? What happened? Hold on, if I do it like that? Why did that do it? Oh, Son of Neptune! You're right. Son of Neptune. And then Mark of Athena. And now I'm reading the 4th one, which is House of Hades. So, I'm already giving all of them 5 stars. But that's because these are like my favorite. Though, if I were to say, like, I would give all of these books. So, basically, this is, if you don't know, this is the first series in that universe. And this is kind of like the continuation of it. I would say that these books deserve like a 5+ for me, because I just really, really like them. Your keyboard is so nice and clicky, thank you. I never really like paid attention to it. I used to have like a very quiet one, but ever since I upgraded my PC, I wanted a different mechanical keyboard. And at the beginning, it was so difficult for me to get used to that. I felt like it's so loud. The roach died. Oh no. Your bestie. Okay. Is it like a young adult fantasy, would I say? Or is it just like a children book? I guess the original trilogy is a little bit of like a children book, but I would still say it's like YA fantasy. Especially the later books. The later books are more and more brutal, man, you know? Yeah, Mark of Athena onwards is 6 stars. Agreed. Like, they're just... The Heroes of Olympus are so good. What's your favorite adaptation of mythology in a book? That I haven't read many mythology inspired books though, so this is definitely like Percy Jackson. I really like them. I've learned honestly quite a lot about Greek mythology through there. I know that most of the things are not exactly accurate, but I still learned more thanks to reading those books than I've learned actually in history classes. YA fantasy stands for young adult, and young adult are essentially teenagers. Yeah, kitty alert. She's just being a rascal. What are you doing? She's just with her tail over here. Right. Oh. Status. All of them are rereads. Reread. No, you can't leave my headphones. All of these are rereads. And I've read the original trilogy. Not trilogy, the original series, I guess, 5 times already. So it was my 6th time rereading. 6th time reread. As you can tell, I really love them. But I actually haven't read those since I was in high school, over 10 years ago. So I feel like I rediscovered these books once again. Penthology, maybe it's called that. I don't know even. Maybe sounds funny. And the Heroes of Olympus, I believe that I've read the first 2 books. Oh, what did I just do? 3 times? And then going from Mark of Athena to House of Hades, and I don't remember what's the last book, but this one, I've only read them once, which is why I wanted to reread those books and re-experience them. I would say if you're looking for a very lighthearted and very sarcastic book, like if you do not like sarcastic humor, you're just not gonna enjoy Percy Jackson. That's, for me, that was always the most appealing thing about it, is sarcastic humor. The main character is just so sassy. So if you enjoy sassy characters, if you enjoy sarcasm, you're gonna love it. I'm gonna lurk for some time, no problem, enjoy the dinner. So, sarcasm and sassiness, lover. That's what I would say for the whole series. Does the movie live to the book? So, yeah, the movie, I would say as a action movie, not looking completely at the book, it's fine. It's not good, but it's fine. You can have fun while watching it. But if you compare it to the book, you realize that it literally has nothing to do. It's like 2 different stories. The only thing that is the same is the main characters' names. That is the only thing that is the same. I'm sorry, no, it's okay. No, if it's not Twilight, the book is better. I don't agree with that statement. Not every single time the book is better. I do not agree with that. But in this case, yes, the book is better. Even now, the new show is on Disney Plus. I haven't seen it, and I haven't seen it for a reason. And that reason is that apparently it's actually not that good, and that just pains me because the author himself works on the show. And I'm like, how do you mess this up? How do you mess it up? But I think I will still watch it. I think I'll still watch the Percy Jackson show because I feel like, considering the amount of feedback, and I mean like negative feedback they got, then maybe, just maybe, they're going to improve on the story and actually make it more fun. Let me squeeze this in a bit. That's better, I think. So these were, are they all the books that I've reread? Hold on, because I have them written in my phone. Yes, so all of the books, that is already, hold on. We started books on row 3. That is already 13 books. And mind you, last year I read 34 books in total. So that's like half of the books that I read. And that's... in this year, it might be like 1/3, 1/4 maybe of the books that I've read, I think. And now we can start moving on to books that were not rereads, that were just brand new to me. And we will start off... I don't know if we're gonna do a chronological order. We could try, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. So we're gonna start off with... Mika, stop it. One... Why you do that to me? Why? What is the font here? Play fair display. Alrighty. Mika, stop it. Play fair display. We have 1 for... Maybe it's for my and me. And this is a book by Olivia Blake. This is I guess like a reimagined Romeo and Juliet retelling story. And the way I would describe it is very simple. Why is this a fantasy? And unfortunately, a lot of the books that have a really cool plots for some reason also need to be fantasy books. I think it's because authors just want to sell them. But this is a perfect example of a book that stands pretty good on its own. And the fantasy aspect of it, because there's basically a little bit of magic in it. The Juliet side, I guess, of the Romeo and Juliet retelling, they're a family of witches. Their witchcraft influences nothing. It literally could just not exist, and I would be fine. Because you know what's the funniest thing is that even though they're witches, they sell drugs. And I'm like, couldn't they just been like drug makers and dealers? Like, why the magic? Why does that have anything to do with the story? Oh, you can't see, but Mika's here. Maybe you can zoom in. Oh, you can't see. The chat is blocking. Oh, you can see. Where are you going? I think she's looking at the arsonist snowman because she doesn't like him. She already attacked him once. Mika? Mika? No. Mika? Mika? Hold on, I need to get her. Mika, stop it. Okay. I think I just stood from the chair. It's like, okay, I'm not doing it anymore. And now she's gone. Okay. Well, that's fine. She wants to be the arsonist. Maybe she feels threatened that her position as an arsonist is endangered. I'd say that if you are looking for a book with a lot of drama and tension and you want a bit more mature themes to be talked about, this would be a good for you. A book good for you. I finished the whole thing, but I will say that I kind of forced myself to finish it. It's an adult fantasy, but my rating was like a 3 stars. It wasn't bad. I definitely can recognize that Olivia Blake writes very beautifully, and I feel like maybe just this specific book wasn't for me, because I've seen a lot of people loving this, and it was just kind of like, you know, like this for me. Yeah. I have nothing else to add. Okay, scrolling upwards. We have, oh my, I forgot that I even read this book. I mean, I didn't read it. Oh, when I copy, it's doing that. Do I need to spell it out myself? Okay, Kingdom of Without. Now, I've literally seen no one talking about this book, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. This book is very forgettable. It's actually compared a lot to Six of Crows, and I find it offensive. I find it offensive. If you want a book similar to Six of Crows, that is not it. The reason why people love Six of Crows is because of every single character being so developed, right? And every single character in the gang has like a relationship to one another, and they're all connected. This is just like everyone is disjointed. None of the characters that are participating in this scheme that they're doing are interesting. They have almost no depth. And I also didn't know who's who at some point because there were so many characters. I was like, I don't know, who are we even talking about? What book made you ugly cry? Actually, you know what made me cry last time I read? It was Last Olympian. Ugh, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's so funny because like I knew what's gonna happen. I've read these books, 6 times. But when it hit, like I was just like, look, family, you promised. And I'm like, no, stop it. I cried on this. Ugh. Yeah, I am very sensitive, to be honest. I started crying quite a lot. Was it tragic? I can't spoil. I can't spoil, but it made me like tear up a lot. So this is, I think it's supposed to be an adult fantasy. I DNF'd this book like 50%. DNF around like 50%. I would, if I were to rate it, I would give it like 2 stars. It wasn't the worst. Or actually, because I'm looking at a different book that I rated 2 stars. And I feel like this is like a 2-, okay? It's not enough to be 1 star, but it's also not good enough to be a 2 star, if you know what I mean. But it's not 1.5 either. It's like barely a 2 star, barely. Another book is by Holly Black. Oh, see, I had a really good reading year, and Holly Black just always delivers. It is. I'm trying to look for the translation for the title. Holly Black. Prisoner's Throne, I think is what it's called. Prisoner's Throne. I'm reading. Listen, this is a second book in a new duology by this author, and it takes place in the same world as the Cruel Prince trilogy. So if you've read the Cruel Prince trilogy, I highly recommend checking also this duology out. The first book, funnily enough, I rated it 4 stars because I felt like something is missing, and I know exactly what was missing. It was the scheming, the backstabbing. Because the first book was a bit more like going on a quest type of book, which was fine. But the reason why I love Holly Black books is because she's so good at writing fantasy politics. That's why I love Cruel Prince trilogy, because it has so good politics and the conflict, and it's just, I love it. And this one, in the second book, Holly decided, oh, you guys miss fantasy politics? Well, I'm gonna deliver. And she did. She delivered on the fantasy politics. And so I like the second book more than I like the first one. And is it a young adult fantasy? Or is it adult? No, I think it's actually a young adult fantasy. 100% read. What would be my review? Better than the first one? Politic intrigues. Oh, you know what? I really surprisingly liked the main characters, both Oak and Ray? No. What's her name? No, I forgot. Ren? Maybe it's Ren. Let me scroll. What doesn't it say? Oh, Ren. Yeah, her name is Ren. So I like them. Liked main characters a lot. I feel like there was a lot of depth to them, which I feel like sometimes in some stories when you have such intense like politics subplot, the main characters are a little bit fleshed out. Not in this one. In this one, I felt like I can understand both sides and they had a lot of depth to them. I feel like there was just some thought put into writing those characters. Yes, that's the one that wrote the Cruel Prince trilogy. You're in chapter 2. You know, someday you're gonna get there. Someday you're gonna read the whole book. Now we have a book by Mafi Tahara Mafi, I think is her name. Tahara Mafi. Tahara. I think did she write the Shatter Me series? Is that the same author? Yes, that is the same author that wrote the Shatter Me series. And I read the second book series from her, and I believe it's called This Woven Kingdom or something like that. But let me double check. Woven, or maybe it's just Woven Kingdom? This Woven Kingdom, okay. This Woven Kingdom. I think it's a YA fantasy. I read the whole thing. Actually, I'm gonna withhold with reading it. So, what was this book about? Very good question, because I hardly remember. The point is that there is the main guy who is a prince, and then our main character is also a princess, but I believe that she escaped her kingdom and now she's living on the streets. And she's just trying to survive because everyone was always trying to kill her. And there is an attempt in writing cool politics in this story between the many different kingdoms because everyone is fighting for power. But unfortunately that is happening in the background because the main story is just the romance between the characters, and we have, you know, the biggest love at first sight, which I hate so much. Like the main guy, I swear to you, for the first time he sees her, he's already like hard eyes. I'm like, oh, this is the most beautiful girl I've ever met. I need to find her. It's a little bit, actually, I think the story is a little inspired by Cinderella. I think a little bit, because the guy is constantly trying to find her and the girl is just like a servant at a motel maybe, or a hotel, something like that. My writing debut when I don't even write anything. I have ideas for stories, but I don't write anything, so I don't know. At some point, maybe if I write something, I'll tell you guys. Yeah, so I would say that the politics setup is really cool, but the romance is so bad that it like weakens the entire story and makes you just not want to read it, you know? So I would rate it 3 stars if it wasn't for the romance. So maybe it's like 2.5. 2.5. Let's do 2.5. So politics are cool, but it's only the background for the love at first sight love story. Hold on, you can't really see, or oh, I can't do. I could make it smaller so that you could see like the screen. Give me a second. We're gonna do a little switcheroo. Almost. I'm just worried that it's gonna be too small for you. Okay, now you can see. I hope it's still readable. You know, I'm actually gonna open this just in case and see how it looks like for you. I feel like on mobile it's not gonna be visible anyway. But I think this is fine, right? This is fine. Okay, we can work with it. So, especially like love at first sight, really? Like I thought we were over it, you know? It's 2024, almost 25, and we're still doing the love at first sight, really? Okay. Oh, now we have a good one. We have Divine. Divine, I can't spell. Divine Rivals. By Rebecca Ross. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's how I should. Why did I write it opposite? I don't know. So by Rebecca Ross. This is an adult fantasy. And it takes place in a world where there is a war between two gods. And our main characters are essentially reporters who are reporting on the war. Yeah, that's it. And now, the thing is, I believe that a lot of people are recommending this book because it's rivals to a lover's trope, and technically it is, but if you go into it expecting a lot of rivalry. So if you expect a lot of rivalry, you're gonna be very disappointed because they are rivals for only 80 pages. And the book is like 400 pages. So be prepared that they become lovers very fast, essentially. I still love this book though. Still love this book. For me, it was surprisingly one of the best books I've read this year. I did not expect I'm gonna like it this much. Ew. Ew. No, this was such a like tender and sweet romance that it just made me like, oh my god, like I'm so lonely, you know. This just, I had tears in my eyes when I was reading it. It's so beautiful. Clipped. What did you clip? What did you clip? 80 pages, no war crimes? Sweetie, that's a book about war. If you think there are no war crimes, you'll be wrong. You'll be wrong. I'd say, because there's actually two books. This is a duology. Right now we're talking about the first one, but I also read the second one. So I'm gonna write the second one right after that. I would say the first one focuses more on the romance, and then the second one focuses more on the war. And I think this is the reason why a lot of people dislike the second book. I still liked it. Rivalry. Oh, you clipped that? Why? Why? Okay, so sweet and tender romance made me believe in love again. And we're gonna also, what is the second book in this? Oh no, now I need to scroll it because I don't even know when I ordered it. Oh, Ruthless Vows, that's what it's called. Ruthless Vows. And I'm gonna scroll down back to where we were. This is also adult fantasy. I also finished this one. I'd say this one was more like a 4.5 star for me, or maybe even 4. I liked it a bit less than the first one, but I don't think it was as bad as a lot of people say. Focused more on the war than romance. Romance, but still made me cry. Still made me cry. Hi Matata, how you doing? I am still doing books that I actually, you know, these are the books that I read in like January, February. So I don't think I'm gonna finish this today, to be honest with you. You're doing bueno, I'm glad to hear that. I hope that your new motherboard is just perfect. Oh my god, do you guys know that I have a book channel? And if you do you know that I made a rant book review about House of Beating Hearts? So, a House of Beating Wings, sorry. And I read a sequel to this called House of Beating Hearts. And even better, I was reading it and making actual notes on this book because I wanted to make another review. Because even though I was really tired from the first book, but I was like, you know, this has potential. This has potential to actually be really good, even though I made a rant review, but I feel like it was bad, but there were certain things that were still enticing to me. And so I picked this book up. And I still have my notes. Do you want me to read a few highlights? I'm gonna warn you that they're very unhinged because this book is literally just SMUT. So, oh my god, these are all of my notes that I have. All of this are my notes on this book. So, where do I even start? Oh, what I have written down. Slut shaming is still a thing in this book. Oh, I remember that. So the love interest is so possessive over the main character that when she was saying goodbye to her friend, male friend of course, she, you know, shook hands with him to say goodbye because she didn't want to hug him because she was like, oh, you know what my love interest is gonna think. You know what the love interest is? What the love interest does when they shake hands? He breaks this off. And he's offended. He's like, you're not allowed to touch any men except for me. No, actually, hold on. Sorry, the opposite. He said, you're not allowed to touch any men as he puts an arm around her. And I'm like, the fuck? I'm sorry. Then what the hell are you? Why are you holding me? You said no man is allowed to touch me. Why are you doing this then? Why you do that? Just no, T at the end, not P. T. SMUT. Like tea you drink. Have some tea. So, oh, you know what? My favorite thing, going back to him being possessive, and obviously, you know, when someone is this possessive that they don't allow you to even shake hands with your male friend, that obviously means that they don't trust you, right? And deadass, I kid you not, this is a conversation that the characters have. So let's pretend that on this side, there's the male love interest, you know, the possessive, obsessive, disgusting guy. And then here's the girl, the main character. So the guy looks at the girl and is like, you know, I trust you. Since when? Since you walked into my bedroom naked, naturally. Since what? Since you walked and make it into my bedroom? This is... Yeah, literally he says that, oh, I trusted you because you walked naked into my bedroom. And I'm like, okay. Like, this guy. So, needless to say, this was probably the worst book that I've read this year. It put me into the biggest reading slump in my life. And therefore, I did not make a rant video on this book because I lost will to live after reading this. Is that your partner or your toothbrush? What? What are you talking about? Is text-to-speech not working? Give me a second. Is it Carlybot maybe that I'm using? No. Carlybot? Hold on. Carly's bot maybe. Oh no, wait, because text-to-speech is not working. No, that's not Carlbot. That's... Oh my god. I'm sorry, wait. Wait, I'll fix it. That's because I had so many things. Earlier, the sound alerts were not working and I fixed them. Wait. No one touching you part. But wait. Why toothbrush? I'm very confused about this part. What's the bot's name? Create is bot. Create is bot. All right, I'll log in with Twitch. I'm gonna log in. And then I'm gonna use my text-to-speech again to say what you said, Matthew. All right. Is that the one? Let's see. I'm gonna copy this and use text-to-speech.
Imagine if they walked fully clothed.
You know, if the main character walked in fully clothed, then naturally the main guy wouldn't trust her because she has something to hide. But because she walked in naked, then he was like, oh, let me trust her. And then just like, you know what? I will give props to this author because the smut scenes were very interesting. I gotta admit, I've never read scenes like this. If you would like comparisons, you know, of male stuff to like a sword or a snake, this is the book for you. So this is new adult, I think. New adult fantasy. New adult. What does it stand for? I guess it just stands for like a lot of smut in the book. I did unfortunately finish it. That's how I feel about it. What would I say? Put me in a reading slump. I don't get the romance. It's like, it's not even romantic, it's just possessive. Like, you know what this guy, this guy, main character, his name is Lore. I swear, Edward Cullen from Twilight, compared to him, is actually an angel. Do you understand the seriousness of the situation? If Edward Cullen is a better guy than this guy, like, we have a problem. You know, maybe this is what I should... Edward Cullen could never... Or would never. He could, but he would not. Because he's actually better than Lore. So, that's him. So that would be all the books that I read until February, because as I said, like, that book put me into like 3-week reading slump or something. I did not read a single book after that. Now we're actually gonna go to a very sad book. It's a memoir, a very popular one as well, and it's called I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I actually talked about this book a little bit before on streams, and it's a memoir by Jeanette McCurdy, who played Sam on iCarly, and she dives deeper into her life. What was it like to be a child star? How do you write the word memoir? Memoir? Is that? I don't even know if that's how you write it. Memoir? I actually don't know if that's how you write it. It doesn't show up for me. You heard about this book? It was really... I would say it's a very difficult book for me to read, because even though I read all of the trigger warnings to this and I thought I can handle it, there were certain things that made me feel uneasy, but I still wanted to read this book because it really changed my perspective on how children are essentially treated by their parents, most importantly, and also the entertainment industry. I just felt so much sympathy for her, like knowing that at the same time as she was playing Sam, she was going through so much, you know? Oh, memoir, like this, without E, right? By the way, all the books you read is physical. Yeah, I do not read any ebooks because my eyes get very tired and I don't have a Kindle or anything like that. And I also don't listen to audiobooks because unfortunately, I can't listen to something and focus on doing something else at the same time. Like, I don't have that thing where I can focus on a couple things at once. So I only read physical books. I read this 100%. I feel weird writing this book because it is a memoir, but I do think it's very well crafted, and I just in general will give it like 5 stars simply for the fact that Jeanette decided to come out with her story and just share what she has been going through, because it takes a lot of courage and inner work. So, changed my perspective on child celebrities. So this one I actually got myself in March for my birthday. And that was, again, the only book that I read in March because I was still in my reading slump because of this girl. And then we have lots of different books. We have Hurricane Wars by the Quanson. Now, I didn't know going into this book that this is yet another Raylo fanfiction, and I wish I did know about it, because for that reason, I DNF'd this book. I mean, the thing is that the problem with a lot of these published fan fictions where you technically have new characters, but in reality they're very heavily inspired by, for example, the Raylo ship from Star Wars. Those who like Star Wars and know about Raylo, they're gonna like this book way more because they already have an attachment to those characters. But since I don't watch Star Wars and I don't really know the Raylo ship, I don't have that attachment, and I don't know who these characters are. And I think this is what, in my opinion, the author of this book failed at, was just establishing who these characters are on their own. I felt like there was some sort of expectation that you're supposed to already know them. And I don't know, I think I read like 30% of this book and I was just like, that's not for me. This is, I don't even know if this is a young adult or an adult fantasy, if I'm being honest with you. Maybe it's an adult fantasy, maybe, or new adult. I don't even know. I'll rate it as like 2 stars, maybe. But as I said, I only read like 30% of this book because I was just so bored out of my mind and I could not care less about literally anything. I'm back, sorry, I had to make dinner. No problem. I hope that your dinner was wonderful. What did you eat for dinner? Oh, Matthew, if you're still here, if you want, you can answer our question of the day, which is what career did you want to have as a kid? You need to like and know Raylo ship before reading. Which, since I don't know this ship, wait, is that even how you say it, Raylo, or is it with E, Raylo? Whoa, hold on. Raylo or Raylo? No, it's with E. Sorry. Raylo. Had some fried rice and chicken curry. Oh, that sounds really delicious. Next up is The Dragon's Promise. The Dragon's Promise, which is a sequel to 6 Crimson Cranes by Lim Elizabeth. And I wonder, why did I... Oh, I know now. I was like, why is this here? Like, why is the second book before the first one? Because I remember that I read the first one also this year. So what happened is that I didn't realize that this book is actually a sequel. And I bought the sequel first. And when I opened the book, I realized that's a sequel. I still need to get the first book. I wanted to be a marine biologist, and now I'm a biotechnologist, so I'm kind of in the same field. That is so cool. What even like tasks do you do at your job? Like, what is like your everyday activity that you do? So, in order to read The Dragon's Promise, I needed to purchase 6 crimson cranes. And both of these are by Lim Elizabeth. This is, I believe, a young adult fantasy. Yep, young adult fantasy. Read both of these. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? And you know what's the worst part? Is that this is not the first time this happened to me, where I bought a sequel first and then I realized that this is a sequel and not the first book in the series. Like the same thing happened to me when I bought Kingdom of the Wicked. I bought the second book instead of the first one. And I opened the book and I first read what it says, like, when you open a book, like you have like the little informations here. So I'm just reading, this book is blah, blah, blah. It's about this, this, and this. These characters have to go do this, this, and that. Make sure to read the first book in the series. I'm like, the first book? Which one this is? And then it turned out that I bought a sequel. So, since I don't like to waste my money, I always ask on the bookstore if this is the first book. You see, the thing is that you can just read right on the cover if it's a first book or a second book. But I didn't. So it's 100% my fault. I do research development in biotech in India. That is so cool. That is so cool. I hope that you feel satisfied with your job. And both of these are 100% finished. Now, the first book, I actually rated it 4 stars. I think it's a very cool fantasy story if you are just maybe starting out reading fantasy books, if you want something a bit more lighthearted, or if you're also a younger reader. I definitely recommend this book to people who are maybe like teenagers and don't want to read very graphic stuff. With that being said, this book sucked. Like, I was so disappointed with the second one. I mean, maybe it's not 1, it's like 2, but it was so bad. It was so bad. The second book, I could not believe that this is the same book, genuinely. The first like 150 pages of the sequel are completely ripped away from the main story. Like, it's, I don't even know how to say this. Suddenly the main character goes to a different kingdom, and stuff that happens in that kingdom do not matter at all. You could basically skip those and then only get into the actual action of the book. Some books at the time didn't say if it had sequels or not, so I always asked. I see. I usually do my research on Goodreads or something though. Like I usually have like a lot of books saved up as stuff that I've seen being recommended, and so I just have all of them in my wish list. And this was one of those books that I just had it in my wish list because someone was recommending it, and then I just didn't realize that it's a sequel. So we're going to have ads in like about a minute. So when the ads start, I'm gonna quickly run to the bathroom if that's okay. So this one is light-hearted for younger readers. Maybe, hold on. Perfect for younger readers. What the heck? Well, I think that sums it up. Now I need to like color these a little bit. Where do I get a color? This is the one? Yeah. Okay, let's color these so that we have nice color coding here. I think that's fine. They read other genres. That's the thing, I don't. But I want to start reading more nonfiction. I already purchased one single nonfiction book. But it is a book that I will read as soon as I can. And that book is Word Slut by Amanda Montell. And I want to read more books about psychology, philosophy, and also linguistics. These are the fields that I'm more interested in. And I have been doing research on a lot of nonfiction books because that's kind of my goal for the next year, is to just read more books where I can learn something new from them. Okay, I'm waiting for the ads to start. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna go run to the bathroom and see you in 3 minutes. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Thank you for letting me take a quick potty break because I needed it. Okay. Going back, where were we? We finished the Dragon's Promise, and now I'm here with this book. Oh, I don't know what the English title is, so let me quickly Google it. I don't know if this is still pushy. But do you still play Genshin? I know you said you were taking a break. Oh no, I'm not playing Genshin at all. I want to at some point do all of the Archon quests though. I'm definitely coming back for Archon quests. Hi Insamin, how are you? And oh my god, wait. It's a book by Griffin and Rachel, but I don't know, something with Midnight. So yeah, I want to do Archon quests because I'm still really interested in that. But I don't really feel the need to play the game, if that makes sense. But I'm not saying never. Maybe at some point I'm gonna come back to it. I just feel like right now, I associate Genshin with so much stress in my life that I feel like I need to reevaluate it a little bit before I'm able to fully enjoy it again. Why you do that? Bring me the right font. That's what you need to bring. Or maybe I'll do it like this. Okay. Wait, why is it so small? This is 12. 12. Bring me your midnight. Midnight? That's how you say it? Yeah. This is a book written by Rachel Griffin or Griffin Rachel? Wait, in my bookstore, like sometimes the first name is written first and then the last name. Sometimes it's the last name written first, and I'm so confused which one is which. Actually, this might be Elizabeth Lim, for example, and I misspelled it. And now here, I don't know if it's Thea Guanzon or is it Guanzon Thea? Maybe it's Guanzon Thea. Hold on. Okay, so this one is written by Rachel Griffin. The premise of this book is that there are people who have magic and they're just basically witches, but because of a certain war that happened back in the day, they decided, as in humans, decided to isolate witches from regular people, and they essentially forced them to live on an isolated island that now is being framed as this touristy island where you can get, like magical perfume and soap and just like random little things. They don't have powerful magic. They just have like a little bit of magic in them. And the point of that is that the people who are the witches obviously feel oppressed because they can't do full magic. They're forced to do only a little bit of it, and they have to keep that facade that they're okay with essentially being exploited to be this touristy little island for people who just want to like have fun and witness a little bit of magic. And I liked it at first. Like, the imagery was amazing. I felt like just the story has so much potential to evolve into something really cool. And then for some reason, the main story became a romance. That was kind of like, it wasn't bad. It definitely wasn't as bad as like a different romance that I will not specify, but it was just very bland. And I would say the first 100, 200 pages, if that entire book was like this, I would give it 5 stars. But the other part of the story was so boring. You would like to see a daily cat picture? Okay, let me pull it out for you. Oh, that's not it. Give me a second. Oh, I have 2 pictures actually for today. So we have my cat, Mocha. I love taking pictures of her sleeping because she just like sleeps like this and it makes me laugh so much. Look at her. So cute and so ginger. So that's one picture that I have of her. It's like literally here, this rug that I have underneath. Yeah, little sploots. Yeah, she is kind of a long cat, that is true. And then the second picture is her sister and her. So this is Mika, right? Mika was just sleeping like this. Sorry, it's like a little bit of a blurry picture. And then Mocha was just splatted herself on top. And Mika just looks at her like, why you do that to me? And then Mocha's like, because I want to sleep here. So yeah, that's them. They're cuddling. Or she's troubling her sister. I feel like it's both in a way. Like it's Mocha's way of showing affection to her sister, but also she's being a little bit much. Why, rather? Yeah, because she's like, why you do that to me? Why you do that to Mocha? But they're cute. I have so many pictures of them all sleeping, cuddled up, because they also have a brother. And they love sleeping like all 3 together. It's so cute. So I hope that you enjoyed it, the daily cat picture. What did I rate this? I actually think that I rated it 2 stars because I didn't like the romance later. It just, the thing is, the romance wasn't bad, but it was not enough to hold the story together. And that's the point, is that at the beginning, the story feels like it's going to be about the conflict between humans and witches, that it's building up. There's going to be some sort of rebellion, I don't know. And then the focus shifts so much onto the romance that is not even that well written. And you're just like, but I thought we had more important things going on, you know? I only get 1 per day. Cruelty, I demand more. Actually, you got 2 pictures today. You see? Normally there's only 1, but today we're 2 pictures. Cuddling. So, first half of the book was good, and then it flopped. And then it flopped. I really thought that it's going to be a 5-star book for me. That's the point. And when I started reading it, I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. I'm loving it. Next book is Merciful Crow. I had this book on my TBR for so long. It's by Margaret. Am I pronouncing it correctly? Yeah, Margaret Owen. I don't know if it's a YA or adult fantasy, to be honest with you. But we can do YA. Now I DNF'd this book. I DNF'd this book around like 40 maybe percent, 30 or 40, something like that. 30, 40%. And I don't even feel like rating it. It was also like a 2-. Like, there were a lot of metaphors in this book that didn't really add anything to anything. And at the beginning, I was so confused. I didn't know what's going on because nothing is explained. So I feel like there is some sort of rich world building there. I really think so, but it is not explained whatsoever. When you bought it, was it marketed as romance? It was marketed as romance. It was marketed as romance. That's correct. So fortunately, like I knew that there's going to be some romance, but I thought it's a romance that is going to enhance the story instead of dragging it down, you know? And unfortunately, it did the opposite. I hate when they advertise as one genre and then it's the other one. Oh, I agree with that so much. Like, which book over here is the one that is not advertised correctly? I don't know if there's any. But yeah, I know what you mean. I can't think of any book right now, but it's like, this is maybe the similar thing that I have to Cruel Prince, that the Cruel Prince is always advertised as a romance book. Everyone's like, oh my god, it's enemies to lovers, it's such a romance book. And I'm like, no, it is a politics book. It is a politics book. And this is why I like it. The romance was like okay for me, you know, I wasn't like a huge fan of it, but the politics was making me going, you know. I love politics in books. I don't know why. I don't even like politics in real life, but in books I'm like, oh, I'll eat this up. Say, I was literally gonna say the Cruel Prince trilogy, right? Like everyone is always like, I remember when I first picked this book up, I was reading it and I'm not gonna lie, I hated Cruel Prince, like the first book, because everyone was saying that this is a romance book. And I'm like, he tried to drown her. Like, what do you mean this is a romance book? Do you find it attractive? I was baffled. But then the very ending of the book, without spoiling anything, but it suggested that the plot is gonna go more into like the political stuff. And I was kind of, you know, I gave it a little look. I was a little interested in checking out the other books because I was hoping that maybe if the focus was more on the politics, I would enjoy the book. And then when I read the second book, I realized, oh my god, I love this series. It's amazing. Like when I started focusing on the politics, I realized this book is just great. And it's the romance that like is not really even the main focus of the story. Yum drowning. Oh my god, yoy. Con, are you hearing this? What's more romantic than some juicy fictional politics? True. That's me though. When I think TikTok has made it into romance because of the guy, but the author is more about politics. Yeah, I also think so. Like Holly Black's other books also are all about politics, really. Sorry, off topic, where is your accent from? I like the way you speak English. Thank you, Macy. Actually, I've learned English by watching a lot of YouTube when I was younger, so that's why my accent is kind of all over the place, because I don't have an accent that is like similar to my first language. It's very different. Like, so my accent is like a mix of everything, essentially. Every single YouTuber that I watched when I was a kid. But thank you for the compliment. Drowning in thirst. You know, if they were drowning because they're thirsty, I get it. Like they're thirsty for each other. But no, he literally tried to drown her. Like literally. And that's why I was just like, oh, okay. So, yeah. I did like the book. Like I love Cruel Prince as a trilogy because of the politics, but not because of the romance. And that's why every single time that I recommend this book to someone, I'm always like, remember, if you think that you're going into it because it's a romance, you're gonna be very disappointed. Just remember that. So what would be, I don't even feel like writing a review for this. It's just like, I didn't understand anything that's going on. That's kind of how I felt. I was just like, what is going on? I feel like stuff is happening, but nothing is happening, if it makes sense. Like, and then I read an opinion, because I usually, when I'm thinking about DNFing a book, I go to Goodreads to read opinions. And I realized that a lot of people also have said, who read the whole story, that yeah, things happen, but nothing specific happens. And I was like, oh, if I'm already feeling this like 30% of the book, then That's just gonna abandon it. Oh, but next one is good. Vicious by Miss V. E. Schwab. I've read before Vicious. I read 2 other books by this author. I read 50 Shades. No, 50 Shades. No. No, that's not it. Darker Shade of Magic. Oh, if V.E. Schwab heard me right now, I'm so sorry. V.E. Schwab, I'm sorry. 50 No, Darker Shade of Magic. And Addie LaRue. So now, Darker Shade of Magic was pretty good. I rated it 4 stars, but I don't feel like continuing the series. And then Addie LaRue did not finish it. It was so boring to me. However, Vicious, my friend constantly recommended to me, like my friends here in real life. She said that this is like the best book she's ever read. And I was like, well, okay, I guess I'm gonna read it. And I loved it. I ate it up. It was so disturbing and I loved it. I've only read The Invisible Life of Addie by her. Kind of enjoy it. Yeah, it was boring. Like, I agree. Addie LaRue, you either vibe with it or not. For me, it was a nut. I was so bored. I read books before going to sleep, and with Addie LaRue, I would read max 10 pages. I would literally fall asleep with the book open on my lap. And then I would wake up like half of an hour later and like, what happened? So I did not like it, but Vicious. I would definitely say if you want to look this book up, look also trigger warnings, because even I felt a little uncomfortable at certain things. But nonetheless, this book made me realize that I really enjoy reading about obsessive friendships. Because yes, this is a story about a very toxic and obsessive friendship between 2 competitive guys who are doing a research on how to possibly get superpowers. And in a turn of certain events, in a bit unpleasant way, I would say this is the part where I felt very disturbed, they got those superpowers. And now they kind of believe that their life mission is to end the other one. And the whole book is basically them trying to kill one another. It's good. I like it. It's so good. I feel like I didn't even give justice to this book. This is one, I'm even gonna bold this, because this is like one of the best books I've read this year. Like one of the best. For me. I don't remember the NC that much, even though 80% was about her rights. Like I could not tell you a single thing about Addie. I like it. I love stories about someone unaliving. Oh, there's a lot of unaliving in this book. So made me realize I like reading about obsessive friendships. That was just good. Like, it was good. The way the book is crafted might be a little bit confusing at first because you jump through different timelines, but when everything finally concludes, it clicks. And it's like, oh, that's why. Like, it all makes sense. It was just like a really pleasant experience for me to read this book. I have another book by Rebecca Ross, and that is River Enchanted. I've heard some people were saying that the River Enchanted is better than Divine Rivals. I respectfully disagree with that. It wasn't bad, but I'd say what was carrying me through the story was a secondary couple, like in the background. I loved them so much. I don't remember their names, but there were just like two people that I wish they were the main characters. I desperately wish, because I would love to read more about them, but alas, they were not the main characters, and you hardly ever read anything about them. But it was just kind of... The world building was too simplistic, in my opinion. It was like... you know, there are two sides of a conflict. Oh no. And that's it in terms of the world building. So I liked... Who are the couple? Hold on. River Enchanted. I know the guy was named something with like T. Romance. What's his name? What's his name? The main character's name is Jack. But that's not the guy that I'm talking about. I'm talking about... What was his name? Or maybe it doesn't start with T. The main characters... No. Because I want to like tell you which couple I'm talking about in case you want to read this book, but I can't find them. I can't find the name. Okay, I don't know. I liked the secondary couple. Let's... What did I write? A lot more than the main one. What font is this? This is, I'm telling you, Playfair Display. That's what it's called. I don't know. There's not a lot because I'm using the online version of Excel, because I don't have Excel myself, so I'm just using the online one, and this is one of the fonts that is available. Playfair Display. Thank you so much, no problem. Oh no, another one. I don't want to roast it, but I gotta. We have a book by Neil Schusterman, and the book is called Unwind. It's technically it's a YA fantasy, but like it's a little bit of like a YA fantasy / horror. I read this whole thing, unfortunately. I hate to say it. I hate it because, okay, so for context, Neil Schusterman also wrote Scythe. And Scythe is one of my absolute favorite trilogies ever. It's... You guessed it, there's a lot of politics in it, but there's also a lot of philosophy. And a lot of action as well. So it's like the best of both worlds. It's basically like... If you enjoyed Hunger Games, I feel like you would also enjoy Scythe, because it's also a dystopian story. Or actually, wait, that's not a YA fantasy, that's a dystopian. What am I saying? Dystopian. And just the Scythe was so good. Heck, I even recommended Scythe to one of my YouTube friends who just wanted to get back to reading. And he ate up the books so much. It was like, oh my god, thank you for recommending this. So, and we have like completely different like style of books that we enjoy, I guess. So Scythe, good, amazeballs. Unwind though. So, for context, Neil Schusterman, when he is writing books, he usually has like a very philosophical topic that he wants to explore in his stories. So in Scythe, the topic was about death and whether we as humans should be allowed to choose who dies and who lives. That was essentially the whole point of the story. Which I feel like, you know, that's a really intense topic and you can explore it in many different ways. And that's what Neil Schusterman did. And what I really liked about this book is that he portrayed so many arguments from so many different perspectives that it felt like an objective answer to the question that he has put at the beginning of the story. Now, Unwind. like, I feel like I should have seen it. I feel like I should have seen it coming. Unwind is essentially pro-life versus pro-choice. And technically, Neil Shusterman tries to be neutral. He tries to have a neutral statement with the book. But the arguments that he chooses are very clearly pro-life in a way that, like, it kind of portrays pro-choice people as monsters. That's not how we do it. That's not an equal discussion. He basically compares, you know, pro-choice people as if they were unaliving, like, 16-year-old children, because that's what the book is about. And I'm like, that's not the same thing. Let's not pretend that, you know, being pro-choice is the same thing as unaliving a 16-year-old. That's not it. So I was really pissed off the entire time as I was reading it. I do give it half a star because I like Neil Shusterman writing style. And I get what he was trying to do, like he was trying to be objective, but you could see that he clearly has a bias towards the pro-life, and because of this, he wasn't like making arguments that were objective enough to make a conversation about this very important topic, especially, you know, because Neil Shusterman is a man, so obviously, like, I would rather if he did more research on this topic, which I don't think he did. So very pro-life, unfortunately. Wait, that's how you pronounce unfortunately? Fortunately. Oh, with one L. So that's what I would say. I was very disappointed by this. Because as I said, like, I really thought that Neil has similar values to me. When I was reading Scythe, that's kind of what it felt like. And then I read this one and I'm like, oh, okay. That's not what I expected from you. So we're gonna move on to the next book. In the next book, we have, oh, you know, do we count comic books as well into this? We could, but I also read like, I don't know, 17 manga volumes, and I don't feel like reading every single one of them, so maybe we're not gonna do that. Okay, so the next book is actually a Dan May novel called Heaven Official's Blessing. Heaven Official's Blessing by Mo Shang Tongshu. Probably butchered the name, I'm so sorry. Mo Shang Tongshu. This is the same author that wrote Untamed. Maybe some of you have heard it. Untamed used to also be, they didn't write Untamed. Untamed is the show that's based on the book called The Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. Yes, and this is the same author. GGK review someday for sure, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do that for sure. And you watched it? So, okay, I watched a little bit of the Untamed episodes, but then I kind of got bored. And I reached for Heaven Official's Blessing, the first volume. You know what? I'm gonna write it as volume 1, and then immediately after we're gonna add volume 2 as well, because I also read volume 2. Oh, they already did the number for me. Perfect. This is, I guess this is like adult fantasy, to be honest. Oh, same here. Read both of these 100%. And now the first one, I think objectively it deserves a 3-star, but I liked it like a 4-star book, you know? So objectively, I'd give it 3 stars. At the start, it's very confusing. Then later, everything makes sense. Yeah, that's, I think, a theme for all of these, because I would also say that same thing about Heaven Official's Blessing. I was so confused at first. I'm like, what is happening? And I liked that the romance is very slow burn, like very, 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 very slow burn. literally the characters meet like 170 pages in, and they like touch hands, and that's it. And then they just talk for the rest of the book. And then they hug, maybe. I don't know. They sleep on one mat, but do we count it? Nah, we don't count it. So basically, it was a fun experience of reading this. And I feel like the first book, it was pretty good. Like, I had a good time. It was also my first time reading a Danmei novel. And then I go to the second book. And there was one scene that pissed me off so badly that I changed my entire opinion on the main love interest. Because, yeah, that was hand-holding. Exactly, that was hand-holding. And, oh my god. The context of the story, of what made me change the way I look at the main guy. So, the guy, he's like a... How do I describe this? So the story wraps around the fact that as a person, you can live this, I guess, heavenly lifestyle. And like, if you achieve a certain level of this like mental purity or something, you can ascend to heavens and kind of become like a little god, right? And then you can also get kicked out of the heavens because they're like, well, you suck, so goodbye. And then on the other hand, you also have, I guess, these like demons. And if you've ever watched anime, for example, there's usually rank systems for how dangerous certain demons are. Or like if you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, you know that they're like grade A sorcerers or something like that. So, good morning. And then what am I saying? And so our characters, the main characters. So the main boy is a god who ascended 3 times and got knocked out of the heaven 3 times. Poor guy. And then the main love interest is like one of the top 3 most dangerous demons. So it's kind of a cool story. You have a god and also a very powerful demon. You know, that's why I like the first book. And then the second book, okay. The second book. Our fallen god needs to go find the demon. And the demon owns this like gamble shop thingy. Where basically people can gamble very weird things. Like someone can gamble their leg, their life, their time for different things. I have to go to sleep, no problem. Have a great stream. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Goodbye, Kai. Also, his handwriting is shit. Watch. You're not wrong. And our fallen god goes to this gambling shop. I don't know how I'm gonna call it. I call it a gambling shop, right? That the demon owns. And there's just some rattle going on. One man, he makes like a gamble that, okay, I want every single person in this room to get killed off. And then, you know, the guy that is making the gamble of him is like, okay, but like, you know, you have to pay a lot for that kind of gamble. I go, what are you willing to gamble? And then this guy says, I'm gonna gamble my daughter's life and her hand in marriage. And I'm here thinking, this man is not serious. Like, is he really doing that? Maybe he should offer his own life. Why his daughter? What did she do? And so one of the characters, who is like a acquaintance of the gods, I guess, it's like one of the pals, he steps into this gamble and he stops it. He's like, no, you can't bet your daughter's life. That's ridiculous. And then he tries to fight him off, right? And they have like a little sword fight. But then the demon steps in. Is like, there's not going to be any rattle in my gamble shop. And then he goes on to this speech and he says, can you believe that people like scums like this want to become gods? You know who he's talking about? He's actually not talking about the guy that gambled his daughter's life. He's talking about the guy that wanted to stop him. He said that, oh, this guy, like, he is such a loser for trying to have morals. Like, what is he thinking? Protecting an innocent girl? Like, the gods nowadays have no standards. Like, what is he? Do they really accept a person like this to go into heaven? I'm like, I feel like if there's anyone who should go to heaven, it's like this guy. Like, he's the one protecting an innocent life, and he's stepping in this moment. Is like, what are you doing? You can't bet your daughter's life on it. And so that was the moment where I stopped looking at the love interest as like a person that I care about, because he pissed me off so much. Like, he used such harsh words as well, and slurs against this guy that tried to stop the gamble, that I'm just like, am I supposed to root for this guy? Am I supposed to ship him with my main character? Because the main guy, he's like the sweetest person. Honestly, like, such a sweetheart. I wish everything best for him. He's just really unlucky, and I kind of relate to that. But the love interest, did they miss a typo? What sense that I don't know. That's the thing. I don't understand what is this point of this scene, and that doesn't make any sense. Like, the point was always to essentially make fun of that guy that stepped in. But why this scene? Like, it makes no sense, because generally speaking, like, this guy is considered to be a loser by everyone, but I don't know why, because he just has very strong morals, and he will not sit around when he sees other people being hurt. That's just oh. So yeah, I rated it 1 star. I was so pissed off. Like, watching you suck. That's what I'm gonna say. So I'm not gonna continue reading this, which is such a shame, because have you seen the covers of those manga volumes? I mean, manhwa. Manhwa? No, these are none of them. Just Danmei novels. Have you seen the covers of them? They're so beautiful. But alas, the story is not so pretty, right? Have you seen it? We have another book, and it is called, can I just write the Emily Wilde? Because it's a very long title. It's like Emily Wilde Encyclopedia of Fairies and something something. So we're just gonna do Emily Wilde. I think that's fine. So we have Emily Wilde by Heather Fawcett, maybe? That's the last name. I think it's an adult fantasy, I think. Oh. I also read this book, but I really forced myself to read it. It was boring. So, I rated it 2 stars. I felt nothing towards no one. I liked the love interest, but I kind of wish that he wasn't a love interest, because he was like a comic relief type of character, and I kind of wish that he stayed as a comic relief character. But he didn't. Hold on, you can't see that it says boring. Oh, no, you can't. It was boring. It was so boring. It was just, I realized that I don't like cozy fantasy, because this is like, maybe I should write it also as like a cozy fantasy, not adult fantasy. Cozy fantasy. Most cozy fantasy feels very boring to me. Hi, Sandy's, welcome. We're talking about Emily Wilde and the fact that I guess I'm not into cozy fantasy because it's boring to me. Oh no, now we have this one. No. Oh no, throw off the palette. Oh my god. Carrie Maniscalco. New adult fantasy. Unfortunately, 100%. You know what? I said that this book was the worst, right? And this is like second worst for me. So I guess I could make this maybe like the cursive. And this one is also going to be cursive. This is the second worst book. So this is my fourth book that I read from this author. And I love her ideas. I love them because the worlds that she creates is like about demons, princes of hell, and it's so cool. I love those ideas. Well, the way she executes them. You know, 2.5 needs more politic intrigue. This one, it's not even like, I don't think the politic intrigue even would save this book, you know? This book is just smut, you know? It's a smut that pretends to have a plot, but it actually doesn't have a plot. So you just jump, basically, the main characters, I kid you not because I checked, do not have a single conversation where they do not get aroused during. They do not. This is not a new fantasy. This is an erotica. And then, I misspelled it. If it was promoted as an erotica, I would be fine with it. I'd be like, okay, you know, if you like reading that, go ahead. But this is promoted as new adult fantasy. And this is where I draw the line. Because that was not a fantasy book. That was just an erotica. I suffered, okay? I suffered reading this book. Because it's just not my thing. I don't mind when there are some smutty scenes, but if the entire book doesn't have a plot, then I'm just like, why am I reading this? What? Matthew, you shouldn't be surprised. You should. This is an erotica, and also a really weak one. I feel like there are better eroticas than this one. Because this one, I feel like the problem that I had with this book is that it takes itself very seriously. And I feel like there was just some sort of humor missing. Especially considering that this is like such an erotic book. Like, you need to sprinkle a little bit of jokes here and there. Make it funny. Make it unserious. I mean, there were a few scenes where I just laughed, but I don't think it was intentional. I think that it was supposed to be sexy, but I just couldn't stop laughing at this. You're not? I feel this is really common in fantasy books. In some, I definitely would say in new adult, it is pretty common, but I've never read it to such extent, you know? Because, for example, in most books, you have a few smutty scenes, but it's like 5-10% of the story. This one, though, I said, there's no conversation between the main characters where they just talk without getting aroused. Yeah, they do deserve to be sent to horny jail. I agree. I'm impressed on how many books you read this year. Thank you. I'm not even halfway there. I mean, maybe I am halfway there, but not yet. Not yet. I still have like quite a few to go, and I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish it before the stream ends. Oh no. Oh, I don't know if it's called Scarlet Moth or Crimson Moth. Okay, Crimson Moth? It is Crimson Moth. Moth. Crimson Moth.
She's really good.
Thank you. I do think so as well. What? I had a really good reading year this time around. So, Crimson Moth. And this is also a new adult fantasy. It's, I would say, a book between enemies to lovers. She is a witch, he is a witch hunter. And I wouldn't say that the romance is well written, but I think the characters in the romance are really well written. Oh, wait, I need to write the name. Kristen Ciccarelli. I also read the whole thing. I rated it like literally 4.5 stars because even though the romance, like, The romance sometimes feels a little bit juvenile, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't understand why these characters started feeling attracted to one another. But again, I like how much depth there is. And this is a thing that a lot of the times misses for me in enemies to lovers books, is that I don't understand why those characters hate each other so much. But this time around, I was like, oh, like both of them have very valid reasons to hate one another. And it just makes sense. No. The characters have a lot of depth. And I understand why they are enemies. Okay. This is supposed to be a series from what I know, which I am definitely going to continue. But also, just in case, if you feel intrigued by what I just said, I will warn you that even though this is a story about a witch, she performs a spell one single time throughout the whole book. So, if you want a witch story, this is not going to be it. It's not. It's a story, but I wouldn't say it's a witch story. Now we have, I think this book is called Lost Bookstore, I think. No, Bookshop. Or maybe Lost Bookshop. I don't know if it's Lost Bookshop or the Lost Bookshop. This book. What a super witch, right? And the funniest thing is that this witch kind of is like, I would say like a Batman in the world. So she is basically dressing up as the title Crimson Moth to help other witches break free from the witch hunters. And again, she only dresses as the Crimson Moth once throughout the whole book. Lunch break is over. See you another time. Have a fun. Thank you, Matthew. I hope you have a great rest of your day as well. Take care. And this one is written by Evie Woods. I don't know if this is just a fantasy. I don't know if it's an adult. I would say this feels very much like a contemporary story, even though it's a fantasy. Contemporary. Wait, how do you write it down? Contemporary. Contemporary. Okay. /contemporary. I DNF'd this book. And I DNF'd it pretty fast as well. I think I DNF'd it like 20 to 30% into the story. Because it was so empty and boring. The main characters have no personality, and I could not care less about them. And then the entire idea is that there is this bookstore that used to exist but doesn't exist anymore, and people are trying to find it because it looks like it one day just kind of sinked into the ground, so it like magically disappeared. But no one believes in magic in this world, so that's why I would say it's like a contemporary book. Because technically there is some fantasy, but like you don't really feel it. And I just didn't feel like finishing it, to be honest. That's the summary of this one. And now we have one that I think a lot of people enjoyed. It's by Sabah Tahir, and the book is called An Amber in the Ashes. I think, at least, a lot of people really like it. I've seen a ton of great opinions about it. It is an adult fantasy. It's kind of a brutal fantasy as well, so I will warn you guys, there's a lot of brutal stuff happening in there. And I did read the whole thing. And the thing is, when I first read it, I rated it 4 stars. But when I sat down to think about this book, I realized that I kind of didn't like it as much. Like, the story is that the guy is part of a very corrupted military forces, where essentially the military guys are trained to be very ruthless. There's also an issue with slavery, and our main character is a slave, and she's the one trying to break free. She's also trying to find her brother who was put in a prison, and she wants to break him free. And kind of at some point those two people's paths cross over, and then we get insta-love. You know how I feel about insta-love. Insta-love, why? I feel like, honestly, I liked the main character, the girl, because she had flaws. And she was also aware of those flaws, and she actually tried to work on them throughout the whole book, which is very refreshing to see in an adult fantasy, because I feel like there's this issue that I'm seeing nowadays with a lot of fantasy books, that the main female characters essentially have no flaws, or at least these are not flaws that are ever acknowledged by either the author or the character. So they just kind of feel like, you know, badass, strong female characters, like Hollywood style feminists, essentially, that are just so perfect and have no flaws, that this is the reason why you feel like they're very flawed and you just don't really like them. But this one I liked because the main character did have flaws and she was very aware of them. But the insta-love, why the insta-love? So I don't know if I want to continue this story. That's the thing. Like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I also thought going into this book that the guy, the military guy, he is unaware of the brainwashing that is happening in the military. And that's kind of why I picked this book up in the first place, because it is a very interesting topic for me to see how military brainwashes its own soldiers. And I thought that there's going to be a lot of drama because of it, and him slowly realizing how corrupted the system is, you know, and I thought that there's going to be this amazing story. No, from the very beginning, the guy is aware that it's corrupted and that it sucks, and I'm like, then why are you here? I don't know, it's like a 4- maybe. Like a 4-. I recognize that it's a good book, but it's not good enough for me to want to continue the series. And now... Oh wait, I just realized. The Holly Black book. The Prisoner's Throne. Can I? Oh. I just realized that this is the second book, but I also read the first book. What is the first book called? Oh, the first one is Prisoner's Throne. Why do I not have it in the order? Hold on. Holly Black. Prisoner's Throne? No, I want the other one. The first book. What is it called? Stolen Heir. Oh. This one I also read this year, Stolen Heir. So I was already talking about that earlier, that I liked it slightly less than the second book. The second book was much better for me. Pretty good adventure / quest story. Holly Black. Yes, and this is also a YA fantasy. Alrighty. Did it. Now we can go back. Oh my god, I have so many books and we have only 30 minutes of this stream left. I'm still not done. Alright, we gotta like breathe through that. Another one is Daughter of No Worlds. Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. Some of you may know this author from The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I also have read this book, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like it as much as basically everyone on the internet did. I thought it was kind of mid. And then I decided to check out this book from her. And this one was pretty good, I gotta say, because you know what it had? Politic intrigues. So I rated it like 4.5 stars. It wasn't good enough for me to rate it at 5 stars, but I feel like the series as a whole has a potential. Politic intrigues. And also I know, you know what? Is that how you say it, right? Or maybe like this, politic intrigues. However, I know why I would not rate this book 5 stars. You know why? Because this is the thing that's kind of rubbing me off a little bit badly with Carissa Broadbent writing, because it's not the first book, and I know that it's not the last book that has this issue. That basically, in this story, the guy is 33 and the girl is 21. Are we sure about that? Are we sure about I don't know if I'm liking this, you know? Gasp. And I think it wouldn't even hurt me as much. I do not have 30 minutes of that left. Have fun, y'all. No problem. Thank you for being here in Tamin. Have a great rest of your day. It wouldn't even bother me as much if it wasn't for the fact that literally the book... Oh, we're gonna have ads. Oh no. God damn it. I'm gonna try to say it quickly. The book literally starts off with the past, and it's like 12 or something years in the past. I don't know, it's not 12, it's 9 years in the past. And so simultaneously, you have 2 points of views. The guy who's 25 at the time and the girl who's 13 at the time. And that's the moment where the age gap really hit me. And the entire time I was hoping that this is not going to be a romance book, that these two basically have like a mentor and student type of relationship. So I thought that they're just gonna be really good friends, and I liked them as friends. But then the romance started happening and I was like, that's a choice. I don't know if I approve of that, so. But he is 33 and she is 21. So now we're gonna have ads, and that's good because I need to move my body a little. Oh, we have another book by B.E. Schwab. I'm gonna start writing it down. B.E. Schwab, Vengeful. This is a sequel to Vicious. And as you can see, Vicious is one of my favorite books that I've read this year. Vengeful was pretty good too. Like, it has a very similar style to Vicious, but it just didn't hit as hard. It was still pretty okay, but didn't hit as hard. Didn't hit as hard as Vicious. I do think it was a really good conclusion to the story. I also like that B.E. Schwab doesn't force her books to be like trilogies or something. She's just like, okay, I have an idea for a duology, so I'm just gonna write a duology, and I respect that. So I'm glad that she didn't try to make the story longer than it needs to be. But that will be it. And oh no, I already see the book that I don't want. Hold on, I need to see what the book is called in English. I need to check it out. Destroy the Day. Ay. Destroy the Day. Destroy the Day by Bridget Kemmerer. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with Bridget Kemmerer. If you have seen my wrap-up video from last year... Actually, is it a YA fantasy or is it adult? It might be adult. If you have seen it, then you will know that this is the final book in a trilogy where I absolutely loved the first book. The first book till this day is one of my top favorite books that I've ever read. It was that good. And then the second book was such a disappointment because we went from a 5-star rating to like a 2, maybe 3-star. It was bad. It was so boring. The second book was literally traveling from one kingdom to another. The whole book. And there is so much unnecessary drama because the characters, instead of talking to one another, decide that I actually don't feel like talking to you. And now we are here in the third book. And... you know, like I don't know. It was a book. Yeah. That was that. This is a book. That's what I have to say about that. I don't know even if it was better than the second book in this trilogy, to be honest. Maybe a little bit. But I felt like the author doesn't have good enough idea for the story, and so she's just writing stuff for the sake of writing. And I think this is where I had a problem with it, that it didn't feel like there is a specific conclusion that the author is trying to reach. I felt like stuff is dragging, there are so many unnecessary dialogues, and the thing is that there is a lot of politics in this book, so that's why I love the first book. Like, why did you think I liked the first book? Obviously because of the politics. So the first book is just Chef's Kiss set up for a really good plot line about the politics. The second book kind of tries to add a little bit more depth to it. And then the third one expands that little addition that we just learned, and a lot of the things that we thought are true turn out that they're not. We do get quite a few answers. So I think that the political subplot is still really good. But it was just kind of too long, I think. Because also this book was the longest out of the whole trilogy. I think the other two books are like 2 times smaller than the last one. The last one was just unnecessarily long. This is a book. It was too long. Okay, so from one bookstore. We went through all of the books that I read from one bookstore. Fortunately, these are most of the books, most of them, that I've read from this one bookstore. But now we gotta go to a different one. So let's start with... Actually, we're gonna start off with Mo Shang Tongshu, because I also read the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. That is volume 1. I think this is also adult fantasy. Or should I? Maybe I should write it as Danmei, honestly. Danmei. Send me here. Where is it? Here. Danmei. Danmei. So that people will know more obviously what they're getting themselves into. This also, I have read 100%. I think objectively, I would yet again rate it as 3 stars. And I don't know if it's actually the problem with translation, because I feel like the translation is a little bit too literal from Chinese to English. And so I'm very confused a lot of the times. And I'm like, I feel like I would like if there was maybe some sort of author's note with explanations to something, or maybe the language could be adapted a little bit better to English. So it might be the translation problem, not the book itself. I think that I liked the Grandmaster more than I liked Official Blessings Volume 1. But because basically the order that I read these books was I read Volume 1 of Heaven Official's Blessing, then I read Grandmaster, and then I read Heaven Official Blessing Volume 2. And because of what happened here, I was like, I don't feel like reading the second volume of Grandmaster, because what if they're gonna do that same thing again? And I'm just gonna feel like, I don't feel like reading this. So it was fun, but probably won't continue. I feel like maybe I would need to see if I would enjoy watching the show more, because the show that this book is based on is called Untamed. I did watch a few episodes of it. But I stopped. And I wonder if I would enjoy it if I were to pick it up again. Maybe. Another book that is very close to my heart. The Last Airbender. And this specifically is the Rise of Kyoshi. So Kyoshi is one of my favorite avatars in the Avatar universe. I was really excited to read this book. What I thought that this is going to be, because this is, you know, like an origin story, I guess, of Avatar Kyoshi. I liked it. I think the novel must be more rich than the series. No, for sure, I also think so. The series, first of all, you know, it can't be gay. Unfortunately. So if you want the gays, you gotta read the book itself. Yeah, exactly. And the reason why I enjoyed Kyoshi as an avatar is because I always thought that her story is always about showing strength in femininity. I mean, that's at least what the Kyoshi warriors were, right? That they wore a lot of makeup and traditionally female clothes, and yet they still show that they are just as strong as male warriors. And then I read The Rise of Kyoshi, and it's... let's say it like that. If that was a fan fiction, then I think it would be a really good fan fiction. But because it's supposed to be a canon story to the Avatar universe, it kind of is ruining Kyoshi for me. Because I thought that her story is better, you know? Hi Raspberry, welcome. There's a part that it was a love confession. But you don't know this because no gay. Yeah. Right? Like, how can you write a danmei and not make it gay? Come on. So we have the two authors here. We have FCE and also Michael Dante Di Martino. How do I call this? I guess this is adult fantasy. I read the whole thing. Just like a 3-star. If it was fan fiction, then it would be good. But as a canon, really meh. Especially, you know, coming from the Avatar Last Airbender, the story is so good. And then I read The Rise of Kyoshi and I'm like, oh, kind of expected something better. Isn't like the headband thing where only the lovers can touch it? I might be wrong. It might be. Like, you need these things, right, to understand in the novel. But I haven't read enough to know these types of details. But for sure, I believe that they probably have deleted these types of little things from the show specifically to avoid any, you know, any gays. Cause like, why would you show that? I don't know. Okay, that's I think the other bookstore. Oh no, one more book. Man, I have Babel by R.F. Kuang. Now that's, did I wrote the last name correctly? Oh, wait, why doesn't it show? Yeah, R.F. Kuang. Okay, so R.F. Kuang. You see, I really respect this author for the topics that she picks. I think they're very important things that need to be explored. And I like that she's very unapologetic about the things she believes in. However, I really dislike her writing style. I cannot get through that. I tried to get through Poppy War. I tried. And I couldn't. I really wanted to like it. But unfortunately, the way that triggering topics were handled, it was very triggering. Let's just say like that. And then I thought, okay, maybe Babel is gonna be better, because it technically doesn't have triggering topics for me, and it didn't. But I just really dislike her writing style. I want to like it. I really want to like her books, but I just don't. I think it was in the show to avoid the censorship, like the indirect. Ah, okay. It might have been then. I don't know. Like, it's so weird to me that people have to go through such measures to just like show love between two people. Like, why do we do that? I DNF'd this book pretty early on, honestly. Like 20% to the book. I just can't get through the writing style. I'm not even gonna rate it, honestly. I can't get through the writing style. I think of Kuang is just not for me. I told you at the beginning that the most of these are fantasy. I have a few dystopian books. I do like fantasy. And I don't get as disappointed with fantasy as I get with other genres. Another book that I have is The Young Elites by Mary Lou. You may know Mary Lou from the Legend trilogy, which is a dystopian trilogy. I think it's one of her most famous things that she has ever written. And The Young Elites, it's promoted as a story written from the villain's perspective. I very much disagree with it. Is the main character supposed to be the villain? I don't really see it. It's supposed to be a corruption arc of the villain. The girl essentially has very dark superpowers that can just create very dark visions and drive people insane to the point that they unalive themselves. So the concept is really cool. And she joins the group called Young Elites, who are trained to use their powers to gain back power in the country. But I don't know, maybe it's because this book is relatively short that I didn't feel enough connection between any of the characters. Almost all the books I've read are in my native language. That makes sense. I, for example, don't really read books from my country, really, but that's just because I don't resonate with any of them. So I tend to reach for American literature the most. But I am trying to read also some different authors. So The Young Elites, something was missing. Can't point out what though. I do still have a copy of it, and I maybe at some point I'm going to continue this series, because it is a trilogy, I believe. But I don't know if I feel motivated enough to do so. Oh, I completely forgot that I read this one though. Oh my god. Now, how many of you know this book? Because that is something. The Foxhole Court. I've had this book on my TBR since Haikyuu the anime about volleyball came out. Have Nora Savick. No, Savick. This is a story about a made-up sport that is kind of similar to lacrosse. But the twist is that the boys who play this sport are all from different like mafia gang families. And it's very intense. Like the drama is always at the like 100% and it just does not go down. I don't even know how to rate this genuinely. It's very weird book, very weird. I've never read anything like that. It's very unhinged. I've never read Famous 5. I don't think I've even recognized the title. What is it about? I don't know. I guess I'm gonna rate it as 3, but I don't know what to think about it. No. I don't even know what to think about it. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what to say here. I was baffled. I was surprised. I was petrified reading this. Completely did not expect it. Okay, and now I think the last books that I have on my list are all of the books that I brought from United States with me and that I've read. So one of the books that I read, or at least started reading, was what was it called? Crimson Crown, maybe. Crown? Oh, it was called Crimson Crown. Okay, the Crimson Crown. This is supposed to be a reimagined story. I guess the origin story of Evil Queen from Snow White. That's what I would say. But I would also say that you need to look very, very loosely into this because except for like a few references, it really does not feel anywhere close to the world of Snow White. It does not even feel like this is the same evil queen as the actual evil queen from Snow White. I thought Famous 5 is supposed to be famous. See, here's me. I've never heard about it. Is it an adult fantasy or is it YA fantasy? I don't know. I'm gonna choose YA fantasy because they kind of felt like it. I read half of it. I DNF'd it at some point because I did not like it. It was like, honestly, I wouldn't even give it like 2.5 stars. Truly. Very loosely based. And I felt like things kind of just happened to the main character. I never felt like she's the one actually making the action go forward. It always felt like everything, like she just so happens to be at the right place at the right time all the time. And that was very upsetting because you want your main character to actually feel like the main character, right? You want to realize that, oh, if it wasn't for them, the story would go in a different way. But here it's like, I feel like the story would go the same way regardless if she was there or not. So things just so happen to the MC too much. Another book that I started reading, and I also DNF'd, was Bull Moon Rising. I was talking to you guys about it, that this is a romance between a minotaur and just like a girl. Bull Moon Rising. Oh. Wait, I didn't spell it correctly. Bull Moon Rising by Ruby Dixon. Do you guys know that Alien book series that she wrote? It's also like, a very unhinged romance between human girls and alien men. You know, I respect her creativity, that I can say. Like, oh, Planet Barbarian, or Ice Planet Barbarians, that's what that other series is called. I don't know, maybe new adult fantasy? Maybe? Or adult fantasy? I don't know, actually. Is it adult or new adult? I'll count it as new adult right now. I did DNF it though. Like DNF'd it not that far into the book, honestly. Why am I misspelling it? It was like maybe 30%. Because I told you guys already that for some reason this book just had the slightest think of the Omegaverse. Just oh so slightly. And that was enough to turn me off completely. The slightest smell of Omegaverse turned me off. So again, I can't really rate it. I guess maybe like 2 stars, because I just didn't read a lot of it. I do feel like there is target audience for this book. I'm just not one of them. So Full Moon Rising, and then the other book that I read is actually a novella. The 6 Scorched Roses, and it's also written by Carissa Broadbent, so the same author who wrote Daughter of No Words, Carissa Broadbent. I think it's adult fantasy. I read the whole thing. It was a very short book, like 160 pages or something, very short novella. It was kind of average, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's because it was just a novella and not enough stuff was able to be developed. I like the setup, so maybe if it was a full-length novel it would be better. But also I kind of this may sound really weird, but the whole time as I was reading the story I was kind of like, what's the point of this? Like, I didn't see the point, if I'm being 100% honest with you. And I think like maybe this is the problem, that this didn't really feel like it has a direction, and the conflict kind of is there, but it's not strong enough to carry the story really. I didn't know what is the point. And I think at least these might be all the books that I read this year. What else did I purchase actually in the United States? I definitely got 5 books, right? And I still haven't read the 5th season, I believe. But I'm thinking like, we have, hold on, 3 books here, plus the 5th season, and there should be one more. Ah, I know. But what is it called? Vial Season, maybe? The Vial Season? A Vial Season. Yeah. This one. A Vial. Oh, wait. Why you do that to me? A Vial Season. Oh, you can't see. A Vial Season. And then we have by David Ferraro. It's supposed to be kind of like Bridgerton meets Bachelor, and they are all vampires. How do I describe this book other than I think I'm done with Bridgerton inspired things. Oh, why did I do that? I could not care less about anything. The world was so boring. Just nothing in this felt compelling to me. I would rate it as 2 stars, honestly. Not 2%, 2 stars. So, kinda done with Bridgerton inspired things. And this is very heavily inspired by Bridgerton. And now this is finally going to be all of the books that I've read. So we have, hold on, from number 3. So 49 books? No, not 49. 50, because we only had 2. Oh, I read 50 books this year. That's almost 2 times more than I read last year. Last year I read 33 or 34. Let's see which ones how many I DNF'd out of that. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 books. Not bad, not bad. Because last year, out of the 33 books that I read, I DNF'd 15. So literally half of the books. I think really honestly, the fact that I DNF'd only 8 books this year, that's a solid A+ for me. I did had a lot of flops like this one and this one. But generally speaking, it was a really good reading year for me. I'm surprised that I really liked this book. And I'm so glad that I decided to pick it up on my own finally, after seeing so many negative reviews about it. I'm just glad that I decided to listen to my own gut. Another one that I really loved, you know what? Prisoner's Throne, one of my favorites from this year. Divine Rivals was also one of my favorites. Vicious, obviously. I don't know if I would count as this one of my favorites, but it did get pretty high rating. So maybe. Same with Daughter of No Worlds. You know, maybe I could emphasize this because I like Daughter of No Worlds slightly more than I like Crimson Moth. But I'd say that like the stories are a little bit similar. But if I were to recommend one of those, I'd say go for Daughter of No Worlds. Vengeful was also pretty good as a sequel to Vicious. And then here is like a lot of flops. Like in here, I'm just saying like we have a lot of pretty low ratings here. But up here, there's a lot of good ones. Maybe it's because a lot of them were rereads. So but we did it somehow. I did manage to get through all of the books that I had prepared for the stream. I thought we're not gonna make it, honestly. Because I just started talking about so many books and I was like, oh, I have so many things to say. So I was trying to be as quick as possible to give you like just a very quick one sentence reviews so that it makes sense to you guys. And also tomorrow we're having our last day of streammas. So a very important thing is that tomorrow is actually a morning stream. I would like to remind you, because obviously in the evening I am going to be celebrating the Christmas Eve with my family, which is why we're having the morning stream so that I can still celebrate and take care of everything. We will have what I am calling like grand closing, grand ending of streammas. So we're gonna chat a little bit. We're gonna exchange a lot of good wishes for holidays and also for upcoming new year. I'm going to be opening my present, finishing the advent calendar, and then probably we're gonna play a little bit of Minecraft because I have an idea for a house I want to build, so we could at least put some foundation for the house that I want to do. And besides that, that will be it. Oh my god, I don't even want to think about it, that it's going to be the end of streammas tomorrow. Can you believe it? Alrighty, but I think that we're gonna actually go. And as you know, guys know me, that when I'm doing the just chatting stream, I kind of am scared to rate someone because the just chatting category is wild, okay? Hey Kato, I can't catch tomorrow's stream, so I just wanted to say thank you for streammas, and I hope you have a great Christmas and New Year. Thank you so much, Serial. I wish all of the best things for you as well. Have great holidays and also have the best of the best New Year. Just in case, I think that I can already tell you guys that after the streammas, I am going to have like a week of a break. I should be back on the 2nd of January. I blanked on the word. I should be, but just in case if I'm not, I'm gonna be there definitely on the 9th. Though I really doubt it. I think I'm gonna want to stream again on the 2nd, which is Thursday. We're gonna have our regular Heartley Legacy. But right now, we're gonna have to say goodbye already. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for being here, dude. Thank you so much for listening to all of my wild book opinions. And see you guys tomorrow for the grand ending. Bye bye.